we are in for a two-stop strategy. This is going to be an insane race. Hey guys, what's going on? Darren here, and welcome to the start of Season 3 of the F1 22 My Team Career Mode. Yes guys, we've made it to Season 3, and this season, everything changes. We've installed a tyre wear mod, which is going to change the face of all of these races going forward for Season 3. These one-stop races, they're going to probably be a thing of the past. We're going to have 2 and maybe even 3-stop races on the horizon for Season 3. Guys, if you're excited for that, please do smash the like button down below. And if you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel for more F1 content, because we've got a lot to bring to you here in Season 3. Season 3 is going to be a full season of My Team Career Mode. And as you can see, we're currently just going through the driver lineup, and as you can see, a few things has changed. Zhou Guanyu is now at Aston Martin. Robert Schwartzman has moved to Mercedes, and we have 2 new drivers in the Alfa Romeo car. And you know what guys, we haven't got time for messing around. We're going to dive straight into qualifying for Season 3 of the My Team Career Mode. Also guys, as I haven't actually said yet, our car has changed a little bit for this season. As you can see, things have changed. The livery has changed a little bit. We've gone for a more brighter yellow than what we had in Season 2. The Season 2 livery I did like, but it was more of a golden livery. And the bosses at Renault, they weren't very happy with that. Renault wants a more stronger yellow, so we've gone for a more yellow car for Season 3. And as you can see, the livery has changed a little bit, and hopefully at some point we are going to be able to get a good look at the new look Renault Pulse Motorsport car for Season 3. So yeah, things have changed for Season 3. As I said, we've got a tyre wear mod. We've also dropped it to short qualifying sessions as opposed to doing the 3-session qualifying, and the reason for that is pretty much down to the tyre wear mod as well. Because we have this tyre wear mod, we are basically going to be very limited on tyres. Because going into these races now, the soft tyres just, they don't last, and neither do the mediums or hard compound tyres. So because of that, we've dropped it down to a short qualifying. But as you can see, even once we've done one hot lap, we're already looking at 10% tyre wear. So yeah, you can see that things are going to be really tricky for us going into Season 3. And also, as I briefly showed you earlier on, we actually have the fastest car going into Season 3, but when we make mistakes like this, and we beach it in the gravel, yeah, we're not going to be on the front row when we make mistakes like that. So it's P7 for round 1 here in Bahrain. We've got the fastest car, so let's see what we can do in the race.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. Formula 1 returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakia notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz, Bennett, Ricciardo, Perez, Prost, and Pierre Gasly, Schwartzman, Magnussen, Esteban Ocon, and Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Mick Schumacher, and Guan Yu Zhou, Stroll, Théo Pourchaire, Verstappen, and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race.
So let's take a look at the strategy, and as you can see there, we are in for a 2-stop race here today, maybe even a 3-stop, depending on how the tyre wear goes, but at the very least, we are in for a 2-stop strategy. This is going to be an insane race. Guys, if you're excited for this, please do, as always, smash the like button down below. And if you haven't already, of course, subscribe for much more F1 content, because like I said before, Season 3, it's going to be a wild season. And guys, I can't wait to get this underway. You can see we're just checking over now the tyres. Yeah, there's no way we can do a one-stop. It has to be a two-stop. So let's start then. Let's see. We're waiting now on those 5 red lights. And when they go out, the Grand Prix will be underway. It's lights out and away we go. We get off to a good start. We only lose 1 place out to Daniel Ricciardo. But other than that, we only lost 1 place. That's a good start for us now into turn 1. Down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo. Can we make it stick? We get a big hit from behind there. Who was that? That was Pierre Gasly. Gasly with a huge hit into the back of us. He's broken his front wing already. But we have pretty much maintained position. Like I said, we've lost 1 place to Ricciardo. But into turn 3, down the inside, past Daniel Ricciardo we go. And that's us back up to P6, back where we started. So we are now up in P6. Gasly has a broken front wing. And yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. We have the fastest car in F1 so far. So we need to make some good progress here in the early stage of this race. There's no reason why we can't win this Grand Prix here today. With a 2-stop strategy, anything can happen. And as you can see, already, these were fresh soft compound tyres. But already, as we're halfway around the lap, we have 40% tyre wear on these rear tyres. These soft tyres are not going to go too far into this race. Now, we do need to do a 2-stop. We can't get away with 1 stop. And the reason for that, even though that these softs are not going to last, is that the medium and the hard tyres here in Bahrain, they just can't make the 29 laps. Maybe they could, but we will be at a severe risk of a puncture if we try and do 29 laps on only 1 set of mediums and 1 set of hards. So these softs are pretty much needed for us to be able to get to that stage where we can then run the medium and hard compound tyres, which is why we have to run the soft very early on in this Grand Prix. So as you can see, we end lap 1 and we are right up the back of Fernando Alonso, who's right behind Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton last time out in Brazil was so close to winning his first race in My Team Career Mode. Can you guys believe it? We've done 2 full seasons of My Team Career Mode and Lewis Hamilton is yet to win a Grand Prix. He's hoping that in Season 3 he can, at least 1 time, get that Mercedes to the top step of the podium, because we know that is exactly where Lewis Hamilton deserves to be. Now anyway, we get back to this race and we're at the start of lap 3 and we're going to be looking for a move down the inside. I wanted to go down the inside, but Alonso blocked the inside, so we had to go round the outside. But then Alonso, with a huge lockup, forces us wide and we almost lose out a place there to Daniel Ricciardo. But thankfully Ricciardo wasn't feeling too brave to try a risky move. And now because of that, Ricciardo's coming under threat from Alain Prost. Prost, he finds a way past Daniel Ricciardo. But now as we go to the end of lap 5, we're diving into the pits for the first of 2 stops in this Grand Prix. And we're going to go from the softs to the medium compound tyres. And let's see now, can we get a good stop? It looks like 1 or 2 drivers might be held in the box. So there's a good opportunity here for us to make a place. Off go the softs, on go the mediums. And there's Hamilton. Where's Fernando Alonso? Alonso's got a slot in behind us. So just as I was saying, that was a good opportunity to make up some places. I think Alonso got held in the pits because of the Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton wanting to come out of the pits. So there we go. We made up a place on Fernando Alonso, and that is us now in P15 in this Grand Prix. 3.2 seconds ahead of us is Nicholas Latifi. Now I want you guys to pay attention to that. So it's 3.2 seconds is currently the gap between us and Nicholas Latifi. And in the time of me saying 3.2 seconds, it's gone down to 2.3 seconds. Now Williams do have the slowest car by quite some margin. But not only do they have a slow car by quite some margin, they are of course on those very used soft compound tyres. And look at that, look at how slow he is there around the double left-hander, holding Lewis Hamilton up there massively. Hamilton has to get past Latifi as quickly as possible, and through he goes. He finds a way past Nicholas Latifi, but the gap between us and Latifi now is just 1 second. So in 1 lap, pretty much, and in fact not even 1 lap, we've gone from 3.5 seconds behind to actually finding a way past Nicholas Latifi. In 1 lap there, we've just closed a 3-second gap to overtaking Latifi. That is how high the tyre wear is around here in Bahrain, and that is exactly why everyone is on a 2-stop strategy. It's also good to see here, I didn't actually say it, but Théo Pourchaire back in Formula 1. Théo Pourchaire in Season 1 and for the first half of Season 2 was, of course, my teammate. So it is good to see him back in F1 in the Alfa Romeo as we go to lap number 8 there. And you can see we were looking for a move there to go down the inside on Lewis Hamilton, but Hamilton just late enough on the brakes to maintain position. So we're going to have to sit behind Hamilton for a little bit longer. We've got the DRS, of course, so we're able to use it to get close to Hamilton and into turn 3. That was a very late dive down the inside past Hamilton. I didn't really want to go for that move, but Hamilton braked very early there into turn 3, and it just gave us the opportunity to just throw it down the inside on Lewis Hamilton. And we go to lap number 10 now. Well, look at this. Fernando Alonso is right behind us. Alonso's going to go for it down the inside. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. Alonso just has to settle in behind us. But Alonso there, he's got past Hamilton. Hamilton is struggling somewhat. And Alonso got past him and was trying to get past us. But the yellow flags are out, and that's Alonso pulling over. And Fernando Alonso is out of the Bahrain Grand Prix. That's a bit of a shame. You don't really want to see that. And as we go now to the end of lap 15, start to lap 16, into the pits comes Charles Leclerc to go onto a set of hard compound tyres to take him to the end of the Grand Prix. And at the end of lap 16, we come in now to make our second stop in this Grand Prix, to go from the mediums to the hard compound tyres. And Charles Leclerc there, Carlos Sainz, got held up in the pits by us. He wanted to get released, but had to be held for a couple of seconds, I should say, because of us coming into the pits. And that should mean there Charles Leclerc finds a way very nicely past Carlos Sainz, and he does indeed. He's got him by a couple of seconds there, and almost got Lando Norris as well, did Charles Leclerc. So just in front of us there is Max Verstappen. He's on a used set of soft compound tyres. So as we go to the end of lap 17, he now dives into the pits to get on a set of hard compound tyres, which are going to take him to the end of this Bahrain Grand Prix. And surely at the end of the next lap, we are going to see Sergio Perez come into the pits as well. Perez, as you can see, is currently leading this Bahrain Grand Prix, but I do believe he has one more stop to make in this race, and that could then see us up to P4 in this race, with a chance to maybe catch Carlos Sainz and get ourselves up into third place in this race, which would be excellent for us. We do need to get on the podium. As I said, we do have the fastest car, so we really should be getting in the podiums here in this Pulse Motorsport car. Anything less than a podium is a little bit sketchy for us in the Pulse Motorsport car, and we're going to be hoping to see Alain Prost maybe even score a couple of wins this season. It would be really great to see Prost get some wins on his return. He did, of course, almost win the Mexican Grand Prix last season, but he couldn't quite make it stick. So we'll be hoping that this season he can actually do something about it and make it stick and get a couple of wins to justify that very hefty price tag that Renault Pulse are paying for Alain Prost versus, of course, the services of Théo Pourchaire, which we had before. So anyway, guys, this is going to be our fastest lap here in Bahrain. You can see we've not actually done any purple sectors. It's green sector 1 and green sector 2, but this is going to be our fastest lap in this Grand Prix. Through the last couple of corners we go. Charles Leclerc now sets the fastest lap at 1:32.4. What can we set as we cross the line? We do a 1:31.8. That's several tenths faster. That's 6 tenths faster than Charles Leclerc. So with that in mind, and as you can see as we go to lap 24, we are able to close the gap up to the cars ahead, and now we are within DRS range of Carlos Sainz. We're going to get the DRS this time around here on lap 24. Now we use the DRS. We've not got much ERS to use, so I hope we're going to try and save some ERS so that we can go on full attack mode of Carlos Sainz. We'll go to a little bit later on in lap 25. We're still within DRS range. The ERS is about 30%. We're going to hopefully save a little bit more on the run to the line. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to use some overtake now. And we're going to try and get as close as we can to Carlos Sainz. Through these last few corners, the gap is now 0.6 of a second. We're going to use a bit of ERS on the exit to get a little bit closer. It's down now to 4 tenths of a second. And now we're going to get the DRS on Carlos Sainz. The gap is only 3 tenths. We get a good exit from the final corner. Now with DRS, ERS and slipstream, we're going to look for a move to go down the inside of Carlos Sainz. Can we make it stick? Through we go down the inside. And that's going to see us now up into podium positions up into third place in this race. Through we go, past Sainz, up into third. And that is us on the podium here in the first race of the season, just behind the two championship protagonists from Season 2. That is, of course, Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris. We've lost the DRS, but thankfully we didn't need the DRS. It's already closed as we've already found a way past Carlos Sainz. And like I said, we're right behind the top two, who were the top two in Season 2 of My Team Career Mode. So that's a good going as we go to the last lap. Carlos Sainz has not been able to do anything about us. His tyres have dropped off the face of the cliff, and he has run out of tyres, as has Lewis Hamilton, who is 11.8 seconds behind us. Mercedes are struggling on the tyres, it looks like, and they got a lot of work to do to improve their tyre wear for Season 3. But for us, at the end of the first race, it's P3 here in Bahrain.
Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a strong drive and a great finish. Well done.
That's a fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the desert. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the Mclaren team, and I'm very happy to see them there on that top step of the podium.
So Lando Norris wins the opening round of Season 3 of the My Team Career Mode. He did, of course, win the opening round in Season 2, but let's see if he can go a couple of steps better this season and maybe, just maybe, win the World Championship and take it from Charles Leclerc, who has dominated the first two seasons of My Team Career Mode. A great win then for Lando Norris, and a great P3 for us to start the season off. So Lando Norris wins the opening round of Season 3 in Bahrain. Charles Leclerc finishes second, we finished third, Carlos Sainz fourth, Hamilton down in fifth, Alain Prost in sixth, Verstappen seventh, Perez in eighth, Robert Schwartzman finished in ninth on debut for Mercedes, and Esteban Ocon rounds out the top 10 here in Sakhir. And we only had one DNF in the Grand Prix, and that was Fernando Alonso. So of course in the drivers' standings, Lando Norris leads the drivers' championship, and we are in P3 in the drivers' championship. In the constructors, Ferrari leads the constructors' championship from McLaren in second, and we're in third. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, of course, as always, comment, leave a like, and if you haven't, of course, subscribe to the channel for more F1 content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching, guys.